Hi, everybody. A long time ago, if you go in the way, way back machine to when I was a kid, my social network wasn't called Facebook or Twitter. It was called Outside. That's how we socialized. We went outside, we socialized face to face with one another. Now, I'm sure a lot of you are very involved in social media, and some of you would actually probably even freak out without your smartphone. But I hope to persuade you to limit your social media for a number of reasons. I've witnessed the overuse of social media in my own home, and I've done research on the effects of overusing social media. The purpose of my speech is to persuade you why social media should be limited. So I'm going to tell you why a vulgar or inappropriate social media can hinder future opportunities, why social media can cause you to believe false information, and why an excessive use of social media may lead to an inability to interact on a personal level. So the first thing I want to share with you is how an inappropriate or vulgar social media can hinder future opportunities. According to an article written by Liz Klimas for theblaze.com, she says, a highly recruited New Jersey high school football star with a scholarship offer from the University of Michigan was expelled from his private school over what officials considered to be inappropriate tweets. The article goes on to explain that along with the student's expulsion from his high school, the University of Michigan also withdrew their scholarship offer. Very bad consequences for this future athlete scholar. Cynthia Hugh writes in her article titled 5 Ways to Get Fired Over Your Facebook Post for FindLaw.com that many tend to forget that their Facebook and Twitter feeds aren't as private as you would think. She writes that although the National Labor Relations Act of 1935 protects employees if they have complaints about issues such as safety and pay, you can be fired by your employer for posting online insults, confidential information, or offensive comments. Also, a FindLaw.com survey found that 1 in 25 recipients said that something they posted on a social media site resulted in them either being fired from a job, not being offered a job, losing a promotion, or being officially reprimanded or disciplined. So the next thing I want to tell you is how social media can lead you to believe false information. How many of you think that a lot of your online friends and family have much better and more interesting lives than you do? Author Thomas White, in an article titled Why Social Media Isn't Social for the Huffington Post, says in essence that we create more interesting lives for ourselves in order to keep up with the virtual Benjamins. He says that this can become a cross between straight up lying and straight up bragging. I think that this can lead to low self-esteem and maybe even depression if you think that everyone else has a better life than you have. Please don't fall into the trap of my life sucks because all of my long-lost friends and family have better lives than I do. No, they probably don't. They only post the good stuff. And some of that may even be exaggerated. You never know, but it probably is. Now, who here has learned about or read the internet story about the little girl that was scarred up in the Kentucky Fried Chicken restaurant being asked by that manager to leave because she was scaring the other customers? Well, according to the article, Don't Believe Everything You Read on the Internet in 6 Ways to Be More Skeptical, written by Eric Thomas for CBSDetroit.com, a week after the incident was posted on the internet, the story was proven to be a hoax, but not before an internet outrage forced an investigation by KFC, who in turn donated $30,000 to the little girl, and a GoFundMe.com account raised around $135,000 for her, and it was all a hoax. Don't always believe all the hype you read on the internet. Before you hit that share button on an outrageous story you have read, at least do some fact checking. If more people did this, a lot of these fake stories wouldn't become so viral. Now I want to let you know why the overuse of social media may lead you to an inability to interact on a personal level. In the article, Negative Impact of Social Networking Sites by Karen Frazier for WeLoveToKnow.com. A 2010 Case Western Reserve School of Medicine survey says teens who use social media more than 3 hours per day may have a higher rate of depression, substance abuse, poor sleep patterns, poor academic performance, and even suicide. I was at a dinner party recently with 20 15-year-olds, and I was absolutely astounded that during the whole dinner, every single one of them was on their phone. I asked about it after the dinner, and I was told that they were texting each other. And the article Alone in the Crowd, written by Michael Price for American Psychological Association.com, he states through his research that teens tell him that they would rather text than talk because actual conversations don't give them enough control over what they have to say. This can cause personal problems in our ability to actually talk to someone face to face. More and more these days, people are being alone together. Think about that, alone together. What an oxymoron that is. People text at dinner, parents are texting or checking emails while their children are desperately trying to get their attention, and families that maybe even sometimes watch television together will go right to their smartphones or computers during commercial break instead of interacting and talking to one another during the break. So in conclusion, I have given you some reasons and examples that I hope will persuade you to limit your use of social media. So I hope I have persuaded you to limit your use of social media because vulgar or inappropriate posts can hinder your future opportunities. It could lead you to believe false information, and excessive use may lead to an inability to interact on a personal level. I feel qualified to talk about this because I have personally experienced negative consequences from the overuse of social media, and because I have done some research on this subject. I really hope I have persuaded you somewhat as to why too much social media can have a negative impact on your lives. So just remember, social media can be a good thing, but be careful because too much time spent on social media can also have negative effects on many aspects of your lives. Thank you very much for listening to my speech.